Most people want to become a better person, but wanting to change is easy. The real test comes when you're angry, criticized, disappointed, tempted, or completely alone. The Stoics focused on building virtuous character through our judgments, choices, and actions. 4 habits give you a practical place to start. 1. Pause before you react. Someone sends you an insulting message. Your first instinct is to fire back. You can already feel the words forming in your head, but between the feeling and the action, there is a moment where you can choose. That moment matters. You don't have to pretend you're not angry. The goal is to avoid letting your first impulse make the decision for you. Epictetus taught his students to examine their impressions rather than automatically accepting them. Modern psychology also studies ways people regulate emotional responses, including strategies such as cognitive reappraisal. So when something triggers you, try a simple pause, breathe, then ask yourself, what response would I respect tomorrow? Maybe you still need to speak up. Maybe you need to set a boundary. Maybe you need to walk away. The important part is that you choose your response instead of immediately acting on the first emotion. That small pause can change what happens next. But there's another kind of frustration, and no pause can fix it. What do you do when the situation itself is outside your control? 2. Focus on what you can control. Think about how much energy can disappear into someone else's opinion, a past mistake, an unfair outcome, or something another person refuses to do. Epictetus made a distinction central to his philosophy. Some things are up to us, while others are not. You may not control what someone thinks of you. You may not control whether a plan succeeds. You may not control what already happened, but you can work on your choices, your effort, your preparation, and your response. This doesn't mean difficult events won't hurt. It means you decide where your effort belongs. When something frustrates you, ask, is this mine to control? If it is, act. If it isn't, bring your attention back to the part of the situation where your choices still matter. You can't control every outcome, but you can control what you do with the situation in front of you. And that leads to a harder test of character. What happens when doing the right thing gets you no recognition? 3. Do the right thing without needing recognition. Imagine doing something honest when nobody would ever know if you lied. No applause, no reward, no one watching. That is where character becomes visible. The Stoics placed great importance on virtue, treating virtuous character and action as more important than external status or reputation. Modern psychology also recognizes different forms of motivation, including motivation connected to internal values and motivation connected to external rewards. So here's a useful question. Would I still do this if nobody noticed? If the answer is yes, you're practicing a form of integrity that doesn't depend completely on recognition. That doesn't mean recognition never matters. It means your character doesn't have to depend on it. These choices can look small from the outside, but they matter because your values become visible through what you actually choose to do. And yet, even with good values, you're still going to mess up. That's where the 4th habit becomes important. 4. Examine yourself, then improve. At the end of the day, don't only ask whether the day went well. Ask what your actions revealed about you. Where did you stay calm? Where did you react badly? Where did you act according to your values? And what could you do differently tomorrow? Seneca wrote about self-examination as a way to identify faults and improve one's conduct. In his discussion of anger, he describes reviewing his conduct at the end of the day. The value of that practice is simple. Look honestly at your actions so you can correct them. But there's an important difference between reflection and self-attack. Honest reflection should help you change your actions. If looking back only makes you criticize yourself, you can end up judging the past without changing the future. So try a simple nightly review. What did I do well? Where did I fall short? What will I change tomorrow? You don't have to become perfect. You have to become more aware of your choices. Then make a better choice the next time. And notice how the 4 habits now fit together. Pause before you react. Focus on what you can control. Do the right thing without needing recognition. Examine yourself and improve. None of this requires you to transform overnight. The Stoic approach is much more practical than that. You face the next situation. You notice your reaction. You choose your response. You examine what happened. Then you try again. Over time, those choices shape the kind of person you become. So if you could work on only one of these 4 habits right now, which one would it be? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more practical Stoic lessons for everyday life, subscribe and watch the next lesson on building a stronger Stoic mindset.